everybody. Hello, YouTube. Got to get everybody up and running. And hello, TikTok. One more here. And hello to Instagram. All right, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have TikTok, and we have Instagram. All right, so I am here. I don't know if I've ever done a Thursday night. I'm trying to play around a little bit with trying different times for doing lives to see what you guys want to do. So if you have questions for me, I can do some free content creator coaching for you. I can answer questions for you about any of my personal content. I put in my stories a prompt. So I do have some Q&As as well from my stories. Oh my goodness. I'm just starting and already struggling. Always a great sign. Yeah, so whatever questions you have for me, go ahead and hop into the comment section. When I do this, I do it from 4 different devices. So if I miss your question, be sure that you ask it again. Again, 4 different devices. So I want to make sure that I have everybody's questions that you get or that you have. All right, so until you guys hop into the comments, I'm going to just comment. I posted a video yesterday talking about a UGC deal that I did for a brand. Excuse me, one second. Can somebody bring me a cough drop, please? And I talked about how I got paid $1,000 per video. I did 2 videos for them and I got paid $1,000. And I had a lot of questions like, how do I do that? How do I get started in UGC work? And a lot of people, what the heck is UGC? It is user generated content. So I do both UGC content as well as like brand partnerships. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between. Let's start here with first brand partnerships. Brand partnerships are when brands pay me to make a piece of content and publish it on my channel, right? They are taking advantage. They are using the influence. I hate the word influencer, but they are using the influence that I have with my audience and they pay me for that, right? And the way I price that is a million different ways. And we can talk about that if you guys have questions about how to price a brand deal. So how does that differ from user-generated content or UGC work? Hello, how are you, Megan? So the way that differs, brand partnerships versus user-generated content, UGC work. UGC work, I am just creating the content and then they can do with it whatever they want. It does not get published on my page or on any of my channels. So I make less for that. But that doesn't mean I don't make good money. I mean, yesterday's video talked about how I made $2,000 for 2 videos. So the difference is, I then give them that video. They I priced out, they wanted 90 days of usage for it. So I put together how much it was going to cost for me to make those videos for them. And then I also priced out how much 90 days worth of usage was. And that's how we came to $2,000. And here's the thing, like they reached out to me. I didn't pitch to them. They reached out to me. And literally as like, I don't know, just a few minutes after I sent it, the guy responded back, oh yeah, 2,000 is totally within our budget. I'm like, oh, I meant 3, right? It's just, you just don't know, right? But when they are that quick to respond, like, gosh, dang it, I should have asked for more. But that is also part of learning to work with brands is learning to price yourself a little bit higher. And that takes a lot of confidence to do so that you do have room to come down a little bit. You got to shoot your shot when you are working with brands. And that includes UGC. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate it. Again, guys, whatever questions you have, whether you're trying to grow on TikTok or you are on Instagram or YouTube or on Facebook, what questions do you have for me? Or if you don't want creator coaching, what questions do you have outside of that? I had somebody ask me specifically about my daughter's service dog in my stories today. And they wanted to know what tasks, his name's Ollie, what tasks Ollie performs for my daughter. So he'll be 2 in October. So he's still very much so a puppy. So he's still learning tasks. But my daughter has a medical condition that her heart rate goes high, makes her dizzy, and she passes out. So he alerts her when he is sensing that in her so that she can sit. And then if she were needing to lay down or pass out, he also does two things. He sits on her lap. He's about 25 pounds, and that pressure on her legs keeps the blood more up here because her condition makes all of her blood go to her extremities. So he's amazing with that. She's in 10th grade and brings him to high school every day. And for the most part, it goes really well. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a run-in with one of her teachers who got after her for having him on her lap. That's literally his job. He's a service dog. That's literally what he is doing. All right, what do we got here? Thank you guys so much for the gifts over on TikTok. Love y'all. What do we got here? All right, let's see, Megan. I said, how do you get more engagement in your group? Like how, I got to click on the see more. Hold on. Megan's over here on Facebook, and she wants to know how to get more engagement in your group. Like, how do you get the members in your group to see it and engage with posts/videos? So there are Facebook groups. If you have one, Megan, I would tell you, I'm not telling you not to have it, but instead have a Facebook page. And how do you get more engagement? How do you get people to see that? Here is the biggest struggle of being a content creator. You have, I don't want to say little to no, but you don't have control over the algorithm. So you have to make sure that you are sending as many signals as possible to the algorithm. You're letting the algorithm know what your content is about and who you want to see it. And as well, right now on all 4 platforms, the algorithm's not loving me so much. So what am I going to do, right? I'm still putting out great content, but what am I going to do to get the algorithm to pay attention to me? I am going to do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to start publishing shorter videos, like 7-10 seconds max. When I am publishing 7 to 10 second videos, my watch time percentage is bigger, right? If I have a 90-second video, which I do because I love that, but if I have a 90-second video, it's gonna be really hard to get my watch time percentage where I want it. If I have a 7 to 10 second video, somebody could just stop to watch to see what it is and watch 3 seconds of it, and all of a sudden I'm like at 40 or 50%. So shorter videos will get the algorithm to pay attention to you. Create some engagement content, not engagement manipulation, but content that people are going to engage with. Ask for people's opinion, ask for people's help, give a multiple choice. You know, hey, if I gave you $5,000, which of these 3 things would you spend it on, right? Just a little bit of dream, right? Have some fun. I am a massive hater of engagement bait, where people are purposefully triggering you to get you to, that is so wrong. Nope, that's manipulation. And I absolutely hate that. So Megan, those are some of the ways that I do it. Valerie, cute hair. Oh, thank you. It's a little bit of a, so I live in Arizona, and August is the only month where it's humid. And when I say humid, I lived in Ohio and Minnesota for most of my life. So I know real, true humidity. And if anybody here is from Georgia, you're laughing at me because, yeah, but still, I know what humidity is. So we get, above 10% humidity in Arizona in August. So it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Yeah. All right. What other questions do you have? My horrible, horrible English. Yeah. Again, we don't have to do content creator coaching. Happy to talk about whatever you guys want to chit chat about. Hey, Mr. Alex, how you doing? While we're talking about Alex, I have recently pitched to Alex is over here on TikTok, and he does amazing cruise content. It's Alex the Cruiser. Alex the Cruiser, is that what it is, Alex? You let me know if I got your handle right. It's at Alex the Cruiser. He's on Facebook. He's on TikTok. He's on Instagram. He was also one of my previous clients. And he just became a travel agent. So next cruise, Alex, me and you. I'm booking with you. So I am pitching currently to Royal Caribbean to see if they want to partner with me for our upcoming cruise with them in October. And I had somebody in my stories, their specific question was, I can't get brands to pay attention to me. What am I doing wrong? And my answer to her was, unless I saw your pitch, I couldn't tell you. But here are the very specific things I would ask you. And this is what I asked, or this is what I sent back to her in a DM, but I'm going to put it out here in my live. Who are you contacting first? If you are contacting somebody through a DM, or if you're like contacting the intern who's running Royal Caribbean's social media, no, that's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to get deleted, right? Are you finding the right person? Are you using some tools that are available to us through the internet to find your director of influencer marketing? Those are the people you want to be showing up in their email. Okay. So finding the right person to be sending pitches to, number one. And then number two, are you making it all about you, right? Oh my gosh, I would love to partner with you. How many of those do they get in a day, right? Oh my goodness. Provide some social proof. If you look back to a video that I did just about a week ago, it was a little bit of social proof. Hey, I had Ollie in my lap, and I was saying, Ollie's going on our first cruise together on Royal Caribbean, right? And I was asking, what would you like to see in that content when we take him? And what did I do, right? I took comments. Oh, I want to see this. I've always wondered how service dogs do this on a cruise ship. Provide social proof that your audience is actually interested in what you are pitching to the brand, right? Don't just be like, hey, I've got 100,000 followers. You want to do something together? Right? I don't want to say who doesn't have 100,000 followers, but it doesn't matter how many followers you have. What can you do to help that brand move forward their whatever their current marketing push is? And if you know anything, Alex knows this. I'm sure you've seen it on Royal Caribbean right now. Kind of their new thing. In fact, they have their own account. Are the chief dog officers? They're CDOs, chief dog officers. They have 2 puppies on each of their 2 newest ships. I don't know if they're on there full time. I haven't been able to figure that out. But I watched this content and I tied that into my pitch. Show them that you know what they are trying to do with their marketing, okay? And then how can you help them promote that? And that's what I did. I took what they're doing with the chief dog officers, and then I jumped off of that with my service dog. Hey, I'm bringing my daughter's service dog. I would love to. And then I put, I think it was 4 things. I think I told them I would do 3 vlog style videos. And then I can't remember what it was. There was 3 or 4 things. Oh, I do a live from the ship answering questions about having a service dog. And I was going to give them usage rights to that content through the end of the year. What does that mean? So if I give a brand usage rights, they're allowed to use that content, and they can use it for ads. They can repost it on their own channels. They can use it for marketing. You know, the ads that you see when you're streaming something, right? They could put it in there. They could use whatever they want to through the end of the year. Why would I say that's a very long time? That's almost 3 months. But Q4 is where most brands spend the most of their marketing budget. So I am just like waving, hey, look at this. I'm going to let you use my content through the end of the year if we can come together on a deal. So we've had a couple emails back and forth. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So just make sure you're sending outreach to the right person, and don't throw numbers out there. Don't just link to that piece of social proof, right? Hey, look, I posted this video a week ago, and look at all of these great questions that that people are asking. Here's what I'm, throwing at you. Here's 4 deliverables I'm willing to give you. I just thought of what the other one was. Doesn't matter. But then, hey, what do you think? I'm not asking price. I am not sending a media kit yet. I'm sure if they want to, they will ask me for it, right? It's like, oh, I have, 800,000 followers across all my channels. They don't care about that. What do they care about, right? How can you, Carole Jones, help me reach my marketing goals? That's all they care about. They don't care how many followers I have. They don't care about how much this other brand paid me. Now, I did offer, I said, hey, if you're interested, I'd be happy to share with you other travel related piece of content that I did in March when we went to Costa Rica. Just let me know and I'd be happy to share that data with you. But you don't want to overwhelm them with all of this information. Just a nice soft, hey, here's me. Check out this piece of content I made that I actually said your name, Royal Caribbean, in that, right? And what do you think? Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. And the more you do it, the better you get. All right. Sorry, guys, I've been chit-chatting and talking. So if you have asked questions of me, just go ahead and type them in there again. Again, it doesn't have to be necessarily about content creation if you don't want. Okay, over here on Facebook. Great advice. Thanks. I'll try that. If you make a page, oh, gosh, dang it. So Megan wants to know, if you make a page, you need to have a separate account from your personal one. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense. So here's what I always tell my clients. I would prefer if you had a Facebook page. You can monetize a personal profile. You can monetize a personal profile. You turn on professional mode. We're talking about brands. A lot of brands don't really want that. They want a very specific page that has all the business opportunities for them, because if you have a brand partnership, they're going to most likely want to use that content to run ads, and they cannot do that unless you have a business profile on Facebook. I made a video about this probably about 5 or 6 months ago. What accounts you want, where you want them, and the type of accounts that you want. So go back and look through there. Let's see. Alex says, Carnival never wants to work with me. It's annoying. And they even follow me on TikTok and Instagram. So Alex, that is a great sign that Carnival follows you on those platforms. This is my biggest piece of advice for you, Alex. Look at what they are putting out on social media. What is their current marketing? And not honestly, it doesn't have to be like the past week, over the past quarter. What are they doing? And how can you create content that fits into that? Pitch that to them. Make a little, hey, here's a little teaser of it. And then send them that, hey, look how great this video did. And here's the thing. People are always like, oh, but that one didn't get like 1 million views. The video that I sent to Royal on Instagram only had like 8,000 views on it, which isn't huge for me. It's not horrible, but it's not huge for me. But I still sent it to them, right? Because they got to see me talk. They got to see Ollie. They got to see like what I really wanted to do with this content. So don't make it so much, it didn't do, hundreds of thousands of views. Just show them that you can create the content that they're looking for, that reaches and matches their brand marketing, their message, their goals. And here's the piece. If you are a content creator right now, holy cow, Q4 starts in October. Brands are just starting to roll out and look for those opportunities, because they're going to want you to post in October and November so that those brands are front of mind when you go to spend and buy holiday gifts. Okay. So yeah. Make sure I have not missed any questions. Again, if I missed a question, missed a comment, please do not hesitate to say them again. YouTube, you guys are being so quiet today. That's okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah, Megan, go check out that video. It specifically details the types of accounts that you want on each platform. All right. All right, I'm going to go back to my list from my stories if nobody's got anything for me right here. Let's see. Somebody wanted to know where Ollie is going to go to the bathroom, my daughter's service dog, on our cruise. I know because I've seen them before. They have like little relief areas. I'm hoping that we can have a relief area in our cabin, in our stateroom as well. I don't know. Somebody actually messaged me and said that they had recently cruised with their service dog, and they brought like pee pads that they put in the bathroom or put in the shower. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, but I don't know if that's against cruise dog rules or not. I'm still finding out. So all of that stuff I'm going to put into our content. Somebody want to know, how do I find brands to work with? How do I find brands, whether you're talking user-generated content or like brands that pay me to publish stuff on my page? My best paying partnerships come from people popping into my inbox. Say, hey, we checked it. Now, hey, we love your content. Would you consider doing this for us? I will tell you, probably that's 5% of that type of email that ends up in my inbox. So the other thing I would tell you is, when you are working with brands, or you have somebody that reaches out to you, or you're pitching to a brand, never lead with money, never lead with price. Like I was talking about before, when I was reaching out to Royal Caribbean, there was no mention of price. There was no mention of anything, right? It was just, hey, would you like to work with me? I'm bringing my daughter's service dog. This would be a great partnership. This is what I can do for you. Not about me, what I can do for you. And what you will often find is, when brands reach out to you, they want to know what do you charge for fill in the blank. 1 video and 3 stories? Don't answer that question. Respond, be like, oh yeah, I think this would be a great fit for my audience. What's your budget so that I can put together a few options that fit within your budget? Do that instead. And it's the mistake that I made when I was just at the beginning of the video, right? I'm like, gosh, dang it, I knew better than when this, I wish I could tell you what they are. Once it goes live, I'll tell you this UGC brand that I worked with. But they're like, how much would you charge for 2 UGC videos, 90-day usage rights? And I wrote back, just threw it out there. Gosh dang it, I know better, but I was in a rush. Instead, I should have written back, hey, tell me what your budget is so that I can put together a couple different options. I usually put together at least 2, if not 3 options that are somewhere within that budget. I'll be honest, if their budget is $50, I'm not interested. If their budget is $100, I'm not interested, because I'm not going to scrape and I'm not going to grovel for brand work. TikTok Shop changed brand work forever. It is harder to find really good paying brand deals. That does not mean that they are not out there, though. The other ways that I find good brands to work with my brand partnerships is there's a lot of platforms out there. Some of them only give you samples. Some of them only do affiliate. Not saying that's a horrible thing. If a travel company reached out to me and said, the sample they're going to give me is airfare and a 7-day vacation somewhere, that's worth it for me, right? But if you're going to send me, I don't know, a $50 something or another, well, yeah, that's what we're paying you. I'm sorry, but this $50 product, I can't take this to my bank and pay my mortgage with this, right? So I'm not telling you not to accept gifts, but just know that when you are only accepting gifts, it's going to be really, really hard. And that's what they do. It's a bait and switch. Like, if you do this and we like what you do, you'll be considered for future brand partnerships. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I used to fall for that too. So yeah, don't be afraid of just saying, thanks so much for reaching out. This is my line. At this time, I don't accept unpaid brand partnerships. I just don't. Oh my goodness, that was my puppy just talking and talking. Hazel, come here. Hazel's going to come say hi. You guys have seen Ollie all the time, but this is Hazel. Yes, this is Hazel. She is, how old are you, Hazel? Yeah, she's 1, about 11 pounds. She's a Cavalier King Charles poodle, just like her big brother. But yeah, she's my sweet girl. But I know what it is about little dogs. They're very, very barky. So she wanted to join the live a little bit as well. All right. Any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my list. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. What else do we have here? Oh, somebody wanted to know if I had any updates about my daughter's health. We met with her doctor, a virtual doctor's appointment. He was in Mexico. We were here in Arizona, and it all went well. She has got a very long list of things that she is working on to improve her health, and she's doing really, really well. So thank you for asking. I had one person on Facebook that said they wanted to do I have group coaching that is starting right here on TikTok. Group coaching that is starting on Monday. It is 10 spots. There are 6 people in it right now. I have 4 open spots if you want one. Somebody who was on Facebook wanted to say, I want to do it, but I can't do it because it's 12 weeks long, 1 hour every single week. It's starting Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern for 1 hour. And we do that for 12 weeks. Says, working, what other options do you have? So I will probably start another group. I have one that's ending next week. I have one that's starting next week. I will probably start another one in September, maybe October, depending on what life is looking like. You can do one-on-ones with me. Small group is $69 a week. My one-on-ones are $199 a week. I started the small group as a more budget-friendly option. Or, and this is what I told this gentleman as well, is that I do have a course version of my small group coaching, right? It's 12 modules. It's the exact same curriculum that I created for the small group, starting with basic foundational principles and creating content that connects and all the different content styles that really, really work well now in 2025. And then the last 3 modules or the last 3 weeks of small group is all about monetization. And I will tell you this, if you've not heard me talk about this before. I do not talk at all in my coaching about getting paid for views. Why? Because it is so inconsistent. I had somebody on TikTok comment yesterday, it's not even worth going to content creation anymore because somebody said to me that they were making less than minimum wage for their content on TikTok right now. Well, there's a few things wrong with that. Number one, they were only on TikTok. Number two, they were expecting to get paid forever for what they were getting paid for in the past for views. Yes, I get paid for views. Sometimes it's 55 cents. That was about 6 months ago on TikTok. Sometimes it's tens of thousands of dollars a year ago on TikTok. That's what I was making. It is so inconsistent and so unreliable. I view that income as completely, it's a bonus, right? Sweet, right? I was not expecting that. Love it, right? I will take it all day, every day. But I have 11, soon to be 12 other revenue streams that have nothing to do with the number of views and getting paid for views that I've built my business on. That is what I teach you in small group coaching, how to create income that is reliable and has very little to do with views. Who cares if a video got 500 views if you made 5 sales of whatever it is that you're talking about, right? We are so focused on, oh my gosh, my videos aren't being seen, but they only got 700 views. I have 800,000 followers. I'm still struggling with, oh, that video only got 400 views. But who cares if the purpose of that content is still being fulfilled and I'm still able to grow my business? All right, let's see over here. How do I copyright my content? Here is the thing. As soon as you publish something on social media, I don't want to say you can't really copyright your content. You can report. Alex, I don't know if Alex is still on here on TikTok. He had a past client of mine. He had somebody who was taking his videos, right, using a background remover. So it was just his talking head, talking about whatever the latest cruise news was, and putting it on B-roll. Like it was his face, right? It is a massive problem. And here's the biggest problem is that, gosh dang it, they are not, TikTok used to be really, really good about people like stealing your content and reusing it and monetizing it, and stealing away people from your accounts. But TikTok is not what it used to be before it got shut down for those 12 hours and whatever's happened with the government, so forth and so on. I currently on Facebook, I have 13 fake accounts, and Meta will do nothing, absolutely nothing about it. Do I care that there's 13 accounts? Not really. But what I do care about is that specifically on Facebook, they message or tag my followers in their own pages. And then like, oh, and then it seems like I'm trying to sell them Bitcoin or whatever. That pisses me off. So I wish I could tell you that if you publish something on social media, you can copyright it. I don't know enough about the legality of that, but I do know that pretty much when you publish something on social media, you are giving those platforms the permission to do with it as they wish. And it's not fair, but it's just the reality of it. So you just have to pick your battles. Sometimes those battles are worth it for me. But I was a food blogger for 17 years, and that was the same problem with food blogging. People would steal my photos. People would steal my recipes. I mean, literally, they would copy and paste a whole post, right? Not just the recipe, but everything. And they would recreate my blog somewhere else. It is the reality, and AI is only going to make that worse, right? It's so easy to, it's a massive problem on YouTube. YouTube, you screen record something, you slightly change, and then you republish it. It's a problem. And I really wish that more platforms would come out with stricter monetization rules about that. So, all right. What else we have here? Again, if you have any questions for me, or if I missed a question, go ahead and ask it. Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad. So Tracy over here on Facebook says, I'm so excited to catch your live. I started the pre-recorded course this week. Not to make you feel like I am stalking you, Tracy, but like when you complete a module, or any person completes a module, not just you, I get an email. It's like, oh, Tracy completed module 1, right? So Tracy, I launched, geez, how long ago was that? I launched the course version of my small group coaching because I just had people that needed something that could self-pace at their own time. So yeah, and Tracy was one of my first customers. So all the love, all the love. Hey, Tracy, you got any questions for me? Let me know in the comments. Let's see, what else do we have here? You guys are so quiet. It's always crazy to me, like depending on the time of day, when I go live, the different levels of interaction that I have. I have a client who does tarot or tarot. I didn't know that people pronounced it different ways until she was my client. She's one of my one-on-one clients, and she does, she does like 25 hours of live every single week on TikTok. And she does free readings, right? And because of that, she books private readings. But long way of saying, oh gosh, dang it, my brain, it is gone. I have no idea what I was going to say about that. It's gone. Hopefully it'll come back. Welcome to being 53. Yeah, whatever questions you got for me, guys. Oh, I know what it was. She now goes live at 4:30 in the morning because it's where she's getting the most engagement and she's getting the most like gifts from TikTok. I'm like, girl, you are committed. There's no way. I don't care how many gifts and how many whatevers I was getting. I would not get up. Well, that's the thing. She's going live at 4:30. She's getting up at 3:30 to like, get all ready, and she wears these big wings and she has spurt anyway. So I'm like, oh, you are so much more committed to a live than I am. But I do find it interesting to see how I have different engagement and different levels of questions on lives. Did I talk about that? Oh, one person asked, I just mentioned being 53. So one person asked, what's your skincare routine? You have no wrinkles. Here's the thing. I do not use a filter on my videos. I used to. And when I see them, when the old stuff pops up, it makes me cringe. But, I base everything on being very authentic and real and vulnerable. So I do not like face filters on my content, and I don't use them. However, you better believe that when I'm shooting content, so I have a very big picture window over here and another one over here, I'm going to face in a direction that lights my face nicely, right? If I turn this way, I hate that because I got such a big, or this way. Anyway, so what is my beauty routine? I don't know if you're going to like this or not, because I wash my face every night with CeraVe, just a basic face wash just here. And then I use organic, cold pressed castor oil, and I make a puddle of it here, and I just dab it all over my face, my neck, and in my chest. And that is my skincare routine. I will tell you this though. I think a lot of the quality of your skin as you age has a lot to do with genetics. So I do take care of my skin, but I am not like one of those obsessive people. I'm not the person out there buying the $200 skincare routine. So if you want to know what my favorite organic cold pressed castor oil is, I guess you could just message me. It was just such a unique thing. And they're like, oh my gosh, you just have like no wrinkles. I'm like, maybe I just need to like get closer, because look at all those wrinkles, tons of them. Yeah, I don't know. All right, questions. Oh, you're very welcome. All right, I'm gonna sure I get all the questions here. Oh, one person asked, I talked earlier in the live, if you just came on here, about we're bringing my daughter's service dog on his first cruise in October. And I had somebody who asked me about what the requirements were for bringing a service dog into a port. And it all depends on the port. We are sailing out of New York and going up New England and Canada. One of my daughter's health triggers that will get her very, very sick is being in heat, says the lady who lives in Arizona, being in heat and sunshine too long. So our vacations are going to look a little different than they have in the past. So we are doing in October up New England and Canada, just because it's going to be a cooler in temperature experience. So for US ports, I really don't need anything. I just have to go through the process with Royal Caribbean. In Canada, as long as he has a rabies vaccine and I have proof of that, that's all I need. But like I was looking at some of the other places that I've looked into traveling with our family, and some of them are pretty strict. Some of them, they're not allowed to get off the ship. And the cruise lines are very specific, saying they will not provide like puppy daycare, like for your dog. So if you have a crew, or if you have a service animal who is on the cruise with you, You have to just know that, right? You're not allowed to leave your dog in the cabin or the stateroom unattended, ever. All these different things. They're not allowed to be up on furniture. There's just some very specific rules that they have, all very reasonable. So, yeah. So for our particular cruise, the port requirements very, very minimal. I can't say that that would be true if you were bringing a service dog onto a ship. They have great resources that you can look up everywhere that you're going, and you can find out what your requirements are. All right. What other questions, comments do we have? Otherwise, I think I'm to the end of my list from my stories. Terry, oh, hey, Terry, you've been popping up in my comments a lot, my friend. Let's see. Terry Cooper Lead says, thank you. You look amazing, by the way. So I made a video, was it 2 weeks ago? Yes, I have lost weight. I gained 50 pounds when menopause blessed me. I had an unexpected hysterectomy 4 years ago, which put me into menopause, and I gained a lot of weight. And here's the thing is, I did not change anything, right? I was still working out. I was still eating the same. It just, right? And as people have noticed, they have asked me, what's your secret? What did you do? You got to tell us all about it. And I decided, nope, I'm not gonna. Why? It's not because I'm ashamed. It's not because of anything, right? And this is what my video said. If I tell you it was because I changed my diet and I worked hard, you're not going to believe me. Or you're going to be like, yeah, right. She took Ozempic or whatever. If I tell you I took Ozempic or any other GLP-1, or if I had a bariatric or a sleeve or something like that, then you would tell me I was cheating. If I told you I started hormone replacement therapy because of menopause, that's another triggered subject. I'm just like, no, I am just not going to, I'm just going to tell you I changed and I have worked very, very, very hard. Because here's the thing, whether it is lifestyle, whether it is HRT, whether it is GLP-1, whether it is surgery, all of those things still require lifestyle changes, right? As I've gotten older, I have to eat significantly less. As I've gotten older, I was a massive fan of super hard, super intense workouts. I used to teach group fitness when we lived in Minnesota. I taught 3 different platforms, and I was known for just kicking people's butts, right? They just left covered in sweat. I can't do that anymore. It's just not, I still work out hard, but it's in different ways. So I'm going to step off my little soapbox thing. I've just been a content creator long enough to know that is just not a can of worms I am willing to open. And I share most things with y'all. All right, we're talking about, I just sold another spot. All right, so my small group coaching is starting on Monday. If you're interested, I just literally just popped up on my computer here. I have 3 spots left. When I started, there was 4. The group maxes out at 10 because I want to make sure that every person in that small group gets the one-on-one attention that they need. And 10 is a lot of people to manage, plus my one-on-one clients, plus my course clients, right? So if you are interested in that small group, it is starting Monday, 8 p.m., goes for 12 weeks, every Monday night for 1 hour. I'll be honest, we usually go longer than an hour because I stay on as long as necessary to make sure every single person's questions are answered. All right. Last call for questions. Man, YouTube, you guys are so quiet tonight, but that's okay. I just have to tell, and I think I made a video about this. I had to restart YouTube a year ago, August. So yeah, just about a year. And because I had a blog and I had to sell my other YouTube channel with the food blog because I had all the food recipes on it. And for so long, I was right around 800 or 900 subscribers. And last month, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a video that just took off and went viral. And now I'm at about 16,000 subscribers. And gosh dang it, that just has me so excited because one of my business goals for this year was to get monetized on YouTube. Because when we're talking about getting paid for views, I would tell you YouTube's probably the only exception to what we talked about earlier. But it is also so good for me as a coach because it is frustrating when you're not seeing the growth that you're looking for on the channels and on the platforms that you're putting so much time and energy into. But at the same time, I've been doing this long enough to know that the majority of time, all you need is time. You just have to keep being there. That doesn't mean you have to post every single day. That doesn't mean you have to post 3, 4, 10 times a day, like you see some crazy coaches out there telling you to do. Be and posting at least, I would say 3 to 5 days a week, one piece of content. And you'll be amazed that just you showing up regularly, people start to recognize you. People start to, oh my gosh, I really like her. They probably couldn't even tell. I would tell you, I have 800,000 followers across my channels. At best, like 5% of them could tell you what my name was. I don't really care. I just want them to recognize my face. I said this once in a coaching class, and one of my clients like, that's so true. When I decided this is what I wanted to do, I was just scrolling on social media because I know you were the person I wanted to work with, but I had no idea what your name was. So who cares, right? So the data shows that most new creators give up within the first 90 days. You want to be successful? Just be consistent. Think long-term. You see people tell you all the time, oh my gosh, I made $30,000 this month as my first month as a TikTok Shop affiliate. I'm like, bull crap. Could you have done that when TikTok Shop first came out? Absolutely. Can you do that now? No. Can you do that after you've done it for a year? Yes, right? If you want to grow, if you want to create significant or reliable income, consistency and long-term. Don't think, oh my gosh, next month my life is going to change, right? YouTube, all of a sudden I had one video that did really, really well. What is that on the algorithm? It went like this and it's already back down, right? Awesome. I met the requirements I needed. So now what's my next goal? I've got to create content that is going to get more consistent views on YouTube so I can make that revenue. But it's all about the long term. You have to keep the long term in mind. If you are very focused on short term, you're going to burn out and you're going to fizzle and you're going to, I don't want to say fail, but you're going to give up because it's going to be frustrating. Social media growth should be slow and steady. And slow and steady looks different from person to person. Maybe it's 2 new followers a week. Maybe it's 20 new followers a week. Maybe it's 200 followers a week. But slow and steady wins the race when it comes to becoming a content creator and making income. All right, I have answered all of your questions. I have answered all of my questions from my stories because I know a lot of people watch this on replay. I really wish YouTube did live replays. A little bit of a pet peeve of mine. So message me if you have other questions. If you want a spot in the small group coaching, there are now 3 spots left. It is Thursday. I can guarantee you this is going to be a full group. $69 a week. If you want one-on-one, you can sign up with that through my link in my bio is one. That's $199 a week for an hour. And then my course version is $599. So it is like if you do the math of $69 a week for 12 weeks, I can't remember that it's like $824 or something like that. The course is $599. So, you know, why do I have it less expensive? Because for me, it takes less time, right? I shot it. I created it once. I created all the resources and now it is just, you know, passive income for me. So I'm going to price it a little bit lower versus live coaching. I'm here, right? And I am doing small group live and it takes time out of my calendar. So I'm going to charge a little bit more. Why do I charge so much for my one-on-ones that are $199 per session? Because same thing, right? If I have a full group of 10 and it's $69 a week, we're just doing some basic business math, right? That's $690 per session compared to a one-on-one. I'm not going to charge somebody $690 for a one-on-one, but it's going to be $199, right? So it's part of being a content creator is putting together products and offers and print on demand and all the million things that we talk about in small group coaching there are seriously endless ways that you can monetize content that have nothing to do with how many views you get and getting paid for views. So stop focusing on getting paid for views and create your own income. All right. I know I said this already, but last call, going once, going twice. All right, my friends, have a great Thursday evening, and I hope to see you in a group coach or in my inbox as a client. I'd love to work with you. Message me if you have any questions. Have a great night, everybody. Okay, it's going to take me a second to turn everybody off. All right, who is this? This is Instagram. Bye-bye, Instagram. Let's see. Bye-bye, TikTok. Bye-bye, YouTube. Maybe. And love you.